Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Filled with wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now let's bring on the tag team of Joe DeFalco and your host, Mark Hoke.
And we are back for hour number 2. It's the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment in Las Vegas. Well, and pretty much everywhere, because, guys, we're just that darn good.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it is.
I agree, man.
And, of course, we have the David difference, which is making all the difference on this morning's show.
Yeah, I think ratings just went up.
Oh, for sure.
There we go.
Yeah. I'll take a 0.5 extra anytime, buddy.
There you go. I'm here for you.
I'm Mark Hoke. Brian Ronovich from LasVegasWrestlingScene.com, who covers all of Las Vegas, Arizona, wherever he feels like sending everybody.
Exactly. Wherever we need to go.
Great coverage of the independent scene here on the West Coast. And the David difference from Future Stars of Wrestling, one of their great behind-the-scenes guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and if you want to sponsor the Mark Hoke Show and Future Stars of Wrestling, there's a couple guys right here that would love to talk to you.
Yeah, definitely tap in. We're working on some new sponsorship packages. Mark Hoke Show is going to be a big part of that, and we're excited about that. We're just taking it to another level this year, man.
That's what you got to do.
That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
How have you felt about those shows so far that you've been doing, the pre-shows and stuff?
It's always fun. Like, for me, I'm still a kid with it, so doing that. But then also painting the picture of what's to come. Like, from a business aspect is, get people's palates wet and ready for the show at hand. But I'd say anything like production-wise that I'm involved in, it's just the kid going to work.
Oh, yeah, I understand. I understand. Yeah.
Definitely, I love it. And I think that Joe is great. Joe is hard to sell because Joe's a no guy.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I got an idea. No, not going to work. But then sometimes you just got to show them, it does work. And then, whatever. I knew it would work.
Yeah. He wants to see proof of concept.
Right. So, the freedom of it to be able to get up there and, like, he trusts you to go in. Like, he sees you do it once. I remember I was looking for feedback when we used to do, when I was a real estate sponsor. And feedback. And he, yeah, it's good. Like that. Okay, you're not directing this segment, so he just gives you that free flow to go. And some people got it, some people don't. But just being a part of that whole organization is a beautiful thing. Shout out to Rocky T too.
Oh yeah,
my guy over there. He's doing a hell of a job, and just the connections that have been built over there over the years. Like I said, we're not fans. It's a fam. Everybody goes there.
Yeah.
It's all love. And like even meeting you today, like I see you there.
Yeah, for sure. All the time.
At all the shows, we never spoke. We're like, hey, what's up? But it's just instant connection. Like, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
And of course, FSW's got a massive card coming up on Sunday, March 26th, 5 p.m. at the Silver Nugget, Mecca IX. And we have Chris Bay taking on, what's he calling himself now?
Johnny Mecca.
He's calling himself Johnny Mecca?
Johnny Mecca, yes, sir.
For those that don't know, of course, John Morrison, who wherever he goes changes his last name. But so it will be Chris Bay, the one half of the Impact World Tag Team Champions, the Mecca Champion.
Grand Champion.
Oh, excuse me, Mecca Grand Champion.
That's one of the nicest belts I've ever seen.
It's a beautiful belt.
It really is.
It is gorgeous.
So we'll see if Johnny Mecca can put another belt around his waist, along with all the great superstars of FSW and everywhere else. So make sure you get your tickets now. They're on sale. Just go to FSW Vegas.
Silver Nugget.
Yeah. And also, by the way, speaking of getting tickets, don't forget Double or Nothing, AEW. Of course, we broke the news on the show because I'm a master interviewer.
Yes, you are. Thank you, by the way.
I'm that darned good at my job. But officially now, Double or Nothing is coming to Las Vegas T-Mobile Center. So you definitely want to get your tickets. They are on sale starting, I believe.
Friday.
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, so get ready.
AEWTIX.com.
Yeah, and the only thing that I'm freaking out about right now is I'm waiting for the media credential to pop up because it lists all the dates, but they haven't put Double or Nothing on there. I'm like, oh, should I buy tickets just in case?
Well, just reach out to your friend Tony and say, hey, man, we had you on the show. Throw me a bone.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. But I just got to play it safe, because I'm sure the media credentials are going to go out fast. So,
but don't assume tickets. I've learned that.
Yeah, so it's going to be an awesome time in Las Vegas, and I'm sure everybody's going to have some great events going on around that, and we'll have some fun. It's going to be a hoot. Plus, WrestleMania is coming up, guys.
WrestleMania. The big one.
This is going to be something else, too.
The end of the season.
WrestleMania season, man. It's always a magical time, right? I mean, I don't, like, when I was a kid, it was a whole different feel. But even now, like, as we build up to it, maybe the same excitement isn't there. But I've found in the last couple of years, especially once I'm watching the show, like, I'm just captivated, and I'm a fan again. I'm a huge fan again.
I totally agree. Mania is always a great time. It's a great season. I'm excited for Roman and Cody. It's a different main event Roman's in it, but it's a different match. It's a different match, which is nice. So from that standpoint, I'm looking forward to it because I think both of those guys will deliver. And LA, it'll be cool. The SoFi Center. You're going, right, Mark?
I am going.
Okay.
And so I'll be down there Saturday and Sunday for sure. Maybe more depending once we get told what we're going to be able to do down there, because I know you have the media day and all sorts of crazy stuff going on. But by the way, guys, have you ever looked at a actual schedule for all the wrestling events that go on around a WrestleMania?
I got, when they were in Florida, like, we had tinkered with going out there. So we were like, there's just way too much to get out there unless you partner with somebody, because everybody's doing something.
Oh yeah,
it is insane. I wouldn't even know where to start if I was just going down there to go down there. You could literally be watching wrestling 24 hours a day.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, they're doing shows at midnight and stuff like that. It's nuts.
If you are going down there and you want to know what indie shows are running, if you go on INDY-dependent.com, they have all the SoCal shows. So they have all the shows that are currently booked over WrestleMania weekend. There were 16 last year during Double or Nothing weekend. So that doesn't, and I think there were like 10 or 12 when SummerSlam was here. So I can just imagine what Mania is like.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the page that I found on it. Give me 1 second. I know it's here. Because that's WrestleCon. WrestleCon is pretty amazing. Everybody and their grandmother's going to be at WrestleCon.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You don't want to miss that.
Yeah. Here it is. I found it on voicesofwrestling.com.
Oh, yeah. I know those guys.
It's page after page after page after page.
Yes,
a lot of shows.
It's unreal. But Ring of Honor is going to be down there, too. So on Friday night, they have the Supercard of Honor. So if I go down, that's probably going to be my Friday night.
There you go.
Excursion. So that'll be a lot of fun. But just take a look at where we're at for WrestleMania right now, guys. Pretty decent card, to say the least. And if I get the right window up here, there we go. So right now, here's where it stands. We got Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, and I pray to God that they split these titles someday.
Yeah,
I'm tired. It's too long. That's just too long to say, and I'm sick of it. Too many U's. Charlotte Flair defending the SmackDown Women's title against Rhea Ripley. Bianca Belair is defending the Raw Women's title against Asuka. Brock Lesnar.
You were dreading this.
Yeah.
You were dreading this, Mark.
Taking on Omos.
Oh, that's...
Gunther, still not decided. It is still TBD. We had a 5-way match on SmackDown on Friday night.
Right.
That ended in a simultaneous pin. That's right. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus got simultaneous pinfall victories. So now apparently they will be meeting on SmackDown this week to see who gets the right to take on Gunther.
Okay, so they're not turning it into a triple threat then.
I'm seeing a triple threat coming.
Yeah, I think the triple threat's coming.
Okay.
But I wanted to ask you guys about that real quick because we've seen matches before where like submissions have hit at the same time, and double pinfalls are not the easiest to pull off.
No.
But I got to say, the two referees that were in that match, they nailed it at the exact same time.
Wow, that's good.
That's
not easy.
That was tough. And David, I wanted to ask you about this because you're in production.
Yes, sir.
So you're obviously speaking to the referees as the match is going on.
Are you? I don't know.
Well,
Okay, go ahead.
Well, you might be. Maybe they're wearing an earpiece for some reason, so somebody might be saying something to them at some point.
Right.
So you're trying to hit a spot like that with two officials counting a pinfall at the same time. I mean, and how do you do that?
Right. Well, it's definitely difficult to pull off, but then you just got to look at cadence, as far as marks and, I mean, yeah, that count is, I mean, as we've seen throughout history, like a lot of times it doesn't make sense. So I'd say it's a rare thing. You got to be very good at it. And I think timing is just everything. But actually in the earpiece, they're all listening to the Mark Hoke show.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
There's no other directions.
There's a lot of episodes to catch up on, so you just keep it running on repeat.
Right. But yeah, definitely timing there.
Yeah, I mean, one of the other spots that I remember when I saw that, I thought about the Hogan Orndorff steel cage way back when.
Oh yeah,
if you remember that, when they both drop it out of the cage at the same time.
Didn't a Rumble end like that too, with two guys dropping? Wasn't there a Cena
when Cena
one?
and Batista screwed up?
Yeah.
When Vince tore his ACLs or
that was
quads. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
that was the worst ending. I mean, I guess it worked out, but it was the worst from a production standpoint.
Right.
You're supposed to get a winner, and both guys fall over the top rope. Right. So you got problem number one. Problem number two. Vinnie Mac is exploding.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, I couldn't even imagine what words were coming out of his mouth. And if you don't know what happened in the Rumble, then Vince came out because they had to do something to salvage this. Vince comes out and not only blows out one of his quadricep muscles, he blows them both out and is in the ring on his knees giving directions to everybody.
Yeah, it was really unbelievable. When you see it,
just a disaster. So if you've never seen that, the end of that Royal Rumble, it was rough. It was rough.
I think if you're watching it as a viewer, you just see another show. But it's stories like that as a fan, it's like that's what we love about it. It's like the behind the scenes, what really happened there. If you're just an average fan, then it's like, oh, okay, that wasn't. It's supposed to happen.
Yeah, Vince isn't supposed to charge the ring and sit down.
Right. Yeah. I love it.
But they all sold it so well. Like I'm curious if they look back on that particular spot, even though it fell apart, as something that they go, you know what, that ended up working as well as we possibly could have gotten it to work in a terrible situation on live television.
Yeah, other than Vince tearing, the two biggest muscles in your body.
No, I'm not talking about Vince physically.
General,
I'm just saying from a TV perspective, from a show perspective.
Yeah, because it actually didn't come off that bad.
Right. Did you guys, I remember watching it. I didn't think, he...
No, that's what
I'm like, what's going on? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the way it should have worked.
Yeah. It was good stuff, man.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. So we had another simultaneous there. So we'll see who's going to get Gunther. Austin Theory, John Cena. If you didn't see the promo, kids, Johnny took Austin down a peg or two. Or
yes, sir.
He has a way of doing that.
Kind of. It reminded me of the promo that he did with Roman Reigns when Reigns was starting his ascent to the top, and John kind of shut him down a couple of times. Yeah. Austin Theory got the same kid glove treatment on that one. Ouch. He got spanked.
Well, I think what you've learned too now is, if you're going to go in with John Cena, he's just going to come at you. He's not going to give you anything.
No.
And that's what they used to say about Stone Cold in the ring. Like, he wouldn't give you anything. You had to take it.
Right.
And I think that's the same way with Cena. If you want something, you got to go get it. He isn't going to help you.
Well, that's the thing.
Not in a negative way either. You know what I mean? Like, he's helping you.
Yeah, he was taking him to school.
100%. And that's the thing is, like, you got to be around that top competition.
Oh, yeah.
They're just going to make you better. But sometimes it's not comfortable. Growth is not comfortable, so you got to be around somebody that's better than you if you want to exceed and reach that level. Yep. So I think it's a great story, like when you look at the independent footage of him and, the Cena story as a fan. It all comes to fruition here at WrestleMania.
And I like seeing Cena getting that match a year, that WrestleMania match. Like, he's, you have guys and companies that, Undertaker was a title match, even though it wasn't a title match with Undertaker.
Right.
Wrestling that guy is like wrestling for a belt. Yeah. And getting the Cena match now is huge.
Yeah, so see how Austin Theory does. Actually, you know, I thought he handled it pretty well. I mean, Roman cracked. We all remember that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, Roman couldn't speak and screwed up his promo, and John tore him to shreds. But Austin held in there.
Well, even Cena hit The Rock. Remember, with the writing on the wrist when he called him out for that, and that wasn't expected. So
yeah, well, they didn't like each other very much.
No, they did not. But it made it better match.
It did. You could just feel that there was a little detestability, just a tad.
Oh yeah, they got A&E. All the biographies are jumping off as of late. And if you had the network, you've seen the rivalries, but they go a little deeper, like behind the scenes stuff.
Gotcha.
So a lot of good documentaries coming out.
Okay.
On WWE, but that one specifically.
Oh, they did one on Cena.
Cena and The Rock.
Okay.
Yeah, they just did Hogan and Andre too.
Yeah, and you think you've seen it all, but there's a lot more footage in there and a lot more behind the scenes.
Oh, nice.
Of these new documentaries. So
some pretty cool stuff. And then the last match that's up for WrestleMania right now, and I don't know how to feel about this. Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch, and of course I don't know if we mentioned it or not, but Lita and Becky won the women's tag team titles last week. A week and 2 weeks ago. So they are now the tag team champions. They're going to take on Damage Control, Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. I don't know. Lita looked a little rusty.
She did.
Not sure how. We'll see how Trish is, but Trish definitely looks peppy enough.
Well, she can run. I mean, she ran to the ring, chased Bayley around. You know, like we know. I thought they were going to do Trish versus Bayley. Like, I thought maybe that was where they were going to go. When those two kind of mixed it up. And I thought, okay, that'll be a good match, you know, because even if Trish isn't all the way there, Bayley's fine on her own. You know, she can make that work good. I thought that would be cool, but because I'd like to see him do more of those types of matches in the women's. We see him do it with the men all the time,
right?
But we don't have those kind of, and I think, you know, maybe Trish or Lita could be that person from time to time, you know?
Well, you know, Trish is a fitness expert. I mean,
she looked great.
So she's always in fantastic shape.
Yeah.
So her coming back to the ring to me is, you know, she's going to be fine. You know, Lita, I remember when Lita was back at Crown Jewel and she did a pretty decent job, you know, but you can tell that she hasn't kept herself in shape like Trish did.
Right.
Not even close. But definitely. Yeah, but I mean, are you guys excited about that match?
No.
I would have rather seen Bayley. I would have rather seen Bayley versus Trish.
Yeah. It's something like, you know, WrestleMania is always a spectacle, and they try to fit as much in as possible. So I think in that regards of a WrestleMania style match, it fits in there. But as far as like a match we want to see, they'll probably put it on, you know, regular pay-per-view or what is it? Premium live event.
Yeah, premium live
whatever
event.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think and they don't have it on here, but I believe Seth Rollins and yeah, there it is. Seth Rollins and Logan Paul is also official as well, so we'll get that media circus.
That should be good, though.
I think it's going to be fun.
I think that'll be a really good match.
Yeah.
Seth is fantastic, and Logan Paul has kind of blown me away at how good he was.
Yeah, he stepped it out. You could tell when, you know, I was watching one of those documentaries as well, and they talked about how, you know, obviously he's impressing everybody, but they say he took 60 days working with Shawn Michaels to put together one match. What do you expect? You know,
right.
Like a lot of people jump in and they're like, you know, brand new to it. But if you just focusing on one match with the greatest of all time, you know, but he's definitely impressive, not taking anything away. I think that's going to be a hell of a match.
Yep. So, of course, there's more to come on WrestleMania. A lot more matches, I would imagine, coming over the next couple of weeks. So we'll be keeping an eye on that because I have a feeling there's going to be some oosiness going on.
Oos.
Some serious oosiness because we had a big happening there. And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Edge's interview and the dreaded NXT great maneuver, the ManBoob attack.
Oh. Ouch.
You can't wait to talk about that.
I could wait all day, but I have to. I have to. So stick around, guys. Brian Ronovich, The David Difference. I'm Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us here on the Mark Hoke Show on KDWN. We'll be right back.
.1015 FM KDWN. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Yeah, let's keep it rolling here on KDWN 1015 FM. The Mark Hoke Show, the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. Easy for me to say, apparently. Not so much. Brian Ronovich, the David Difference from Future Stars of Wrestling. Of course, Brian from Las Vegas Wrestling Scene.com sitting in. And by the way, guys, we were mentioning WrestleMania. And if you want to bet on WrestleMania, the odds are up on the big board on betonline.ag.
So we go over these odds a lot. Do you actually place some money on these?
No comment.
Okay.
No comment.
That's such a strange thing to me to bet on wrestling. I don't know why, but it just is to me.
Well, tell me this real quick, because I recently read an article where they're pushing to have it legal to bet on wrestling. I think it's a WWE thing. So what's the difference between what you're promoting over here to actually solidifying it?
It's just on a overseas site. That's it.
Oh, okay. But in the U.S., we ain't having that.
Well, we can bet it.
Oh.
So what, as far as I know.
Though, right?
So what are they pushing for? Because I heard that they're trying to.
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that. I do have that article in front of me since you asked David Difference. They're looking to see. It comes to gambling. Emerged this week. The company is in talk with state regulators in Colorado and Michigan to legalize betting on WWE matches. They've also already registered with the Indiana Gaming Commission. Let's see. Last time Colorado had a go around on this, they said no, but they have hired Ernst & Young to secure results and convince regulators there's no chance of match results leaking to the public. Let's see, anything else here?
I think that's impossible.
I totally agree.
Impossible. I just know, there's a lot of stuff just laying around. People, it's impossible. I don't even understand how they could do it, why they would do it overseas, or who would buy in. I mean, I can understand from a fan point. It's like, yeah, okay,
yeah,
but it's low
to regulate
level.
it. Come on,
yeah. But the overseas, on betonline.ag, it's low level. You don't have to bet on it. But they have all sorts of other sports and everything else you can bet on too. So all you got to do is go to markhokeshow.com, click on one of the banners on there. You can't miss it. Trust me. I made them really, really big.
Yeah.
All right. Click on there. And when you sign up, put in the code BOL1000. That's BOL1000. Right. And you're going to get a 50% matching bonus up to $1,000.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
So
that's real good.
So I am handing you up to $500 just for being such a sweetheart. What can I say? So check it out.
I'm placing my bet today.
There you go. There you go.
Bet on Cody.
Let's see. I had the odds here real quick. I guess I could mention that real fast if you're curious.
Yeah, definitely.
Cody is the favorite. Minus 500. Roman Reigns is a plus 3. The biggest disparity right now, and I'm curious about this one. Brock Lesnar is minus 1,800. Omos is plus 600. Somehow I smell money on that.
Yeah, that's definitely worth 20.
Yeah,
betting 20.
It could be. Absolutely.
I say bet the farm on it, man.
Right.
Yeah, let's go. Man.
He's
plus 600 that's a pretty stiff.
He's got to mortgage the FSW training center.
Right.
Joe, the doors are locked. Yeah, I bet on Omos.
Yeah. No.
You'd be dead, man.
My new motto is what's the best that can happen. So we'll just run with that.
There you go. Fair enough. Now we did see another twist in the Uso Sami Zayn situation. Jay looked like he was going to turn on Jimmy, went out, gave Sami the big hug, and then gave him the big boot to the face, a massive super kick, and then said, well, I got to stick with it. They're my family, even though you can kind of tell he's doing the whole I'm torn act. Guys, what's going to happen at WrestleMania with these guys? Does Jay make the turn on night 2?
I say if he does, and yeah, it's gonna have to be at Mania, right? Obviously, the build up to it, but that family has such a legacy,
yeah,
right? I mean, just to even do it as a storyline, I don't know how you go forward after that. That's what I'm looking at after that. Like, it would be a cool moment, but afterwards, like the Usos, those are my guys, the bloodline. So how do you separate that? I don't know. I mean, it's probably good for the industry, but where do you go from that?
Yeah, I think it's, one of those, like, a match, okay, cool, be a match to see, but I agree with you. Like, that to me is really tough because they've built so much into this with the Bloodline. And so obviously you have to go somewhere with it afterwards, even if you cool everything off for a little. Right. I really hope that's not what happens. I hope that's just the build into the story and they don't break them off into a match. I don't really want to see those two or Solo have some, I don't want to see a triple threat with the brothers. Like, I really just don't. I think some things you just keep together.
Yeah, I don't see a future in that.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we'll find out about 3 weeks.
We shall.
Yeah.
But certainly it's one of the best stories
definitely
that we've seen in a very, very long time in WWE. And, part of the reason that I mentioned that was there was a very interesting interview that Edge did with Corey Graves on his podcast. And I want to read a piece of this to you guys and get your thoughts about what he said. And the headline on the story that I picked up on WrestleZone, Edge, all the wrestling moves in the world, they don't make money. And here's a couple pieces that, it's the person doing the move that can make the money that can elicit the reaction. If you got somebody who's over, they can do a big boot and a leg drop and the place is going to go nuts. You can do a shooting star press. If they don't know what this is, they're not going to care, or they'll care for a second, but then what's next? And he said, and more than anything now, I think Edge and Adam aren't that far apart. I think a lot of what you see out there is Adam. It's just kind of unfiltered. And just bear down with it because I know there was another line to this that I had. But his essence of what he said was, it's the story. Mm-hmm. It's not, you build a character, yes, but what really takes it to the next level is the story. And I'm curious to get you guys' thoughts about that. What's more important, the personality or the story that comes with the personality?
I definitely think it's a combination, right? I mean, we get caught up watching, and like we talked about earlier, there's so many shows, right? And if it's just match after match after match, what's invested in this? Why am I invested in this? And, what's the build up? Like, it's got to be that emotional attachment, right? So being able to tell that story and through your character, it's got to be somebody we care about or somebody we extremely hate, and if you're just good at, doing what you do in the ring, yeah, we respect you, but as far as watching the story, we watch it for the entertainment aspect, a lot of points. And if you don't have that story, you don't have a strong character, you're not going to get me invested. Like the Bloodline, I'm invested because they're telling a great story right now, and I think everybody is. So, I think it's huge.
Yeah, I think I think the strength of the character makes the storyline in a lot of ways, because if you have people that, one, you get the commitment from, you can put two against each other at WrestleMania, but both of them have to be into it. Both of them have to be willing to put the other one over to sell to the other one to put the story over. And that's really, I think, is you have to have a commitment to that story, because the story is definitely what makes it interesting. The Cody Roman match that I've mentioned 10 times. The story is unique. The Cody with his dad, and now they threw in the Roman No Dusty too, and that made the story even better, because you had two great characters who are invested in the story and making the story better.
Yeah, and I think that I've never been in a wrestling ring, so I can't say from that perspective. I can say from a fan's perspective. Right. Is when you learn what you're doing in the ring, and you be as solid as you can be. But if you start with that character, and once you've got that built, then you can really dive into a great storyline and take it from there. But I think the character is the foundation first. But we have seen in the past where guys that nobody cared about, were able to get into a good story and emerge. And this whole thing with Sami Zayn has been fascinating, because it's not that people didn't like Sami Zayn or weren't invested in Sami. He's been around for a long time. But who would have thought, a couple of years ago, that Sami Zayn, or last year, that Sami Zayn was going to be involved with the Bloodline and have Montreal going absolutely insane last month.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Sami, and people hated Sami's, the revolutionary character. They hated that. So all of a sudden he says, I'm going to hang out with you guys. And they're like, what? He's going to get clobbered in 3 weeks.
Right.
But they managed to do something special with that. And Sami developed a new character with that storyline too. It's one of the most interesting evolutions that I've ever seen in professional wrestling. What Sami and the guys in the Bloodline all managed to put together with this, because it's so unique. It just went from hanger on to family destroyer.
Well, I think Sami showed that he had this in him, to be honest, back when he did the original heel turn a few years ago and joined with Kevin Owens, because that one kind of came out of nowhere. Remember, he helped Kevin win against Shane McMahon, and it was like, because Sami's babyface was really kind of, we've seen this before. He comes out and he gets all crazy and everybody likes him, but he didn't win. When he turned heel, him and Kevin Owens became the best thing on Raw because they were hilarious together. Mm-hmm. They had really good heat. And so I always thought, I agree with you, the revolutionary thing was terrible. But he's had this in him before, and so I think he just got an even bigger spotlight and stage to kind of show it off. I think he did a great job. He helped keep that Bloodline story going as strong as it was, without a doubt.
100%. I think that the ability to let them flesh out the story, because that could have been like a quick,
exactly.
haha, we get it. But then, once the fans start buying into it, you can't deny it. And then you've seen that pop, that happened at the pay-per-view, and it was just like, like you guys are writing checks right there.
Oh, yeah.
It's magical. But it's giving it time to, sometimes you'll cut it short, and it's like, what was that? It's just a blip on the, wrestling script. But to turn it into what it is, like, that's credit to everybody involved, from the Bloodline to Sami Zayn to the fans to
WWE, because like you said, because you can sit there and go, okay, we're only going to do this for 3 weeks,
right.
And even though it's going great, you cut it anyway just because we're only doing this for 3 weeks.
We got
to be able to go, oh, wait a minute, we can carry this for a while, and then it just developed beautifully.
Yeah, that's like life. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about wrestling is like sometimes the fans and the impact, it tells its own story, right? So it's not all script. It's like, okay, we got a right to go, where the people want it to go and where it's actually taking itself. So, that's one of the magical, beautiful things.
Kofi Kingston, I think,
Kofi was
when he made that run, like nobody saw that coming.
Nope, him and the big Daniel Bryan run.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. They stopped that early, the Kofi.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, it's like maybe if they would have seen that through, but
right.
Yeah, but it's going to be very interesting to see where these guys all end up, and but it's been a lot of fun, and but it's also interesting, from the training side and everything, where how you get to that point, and like I said, FSW Vegas is one of the best places you can possibly do that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
if not the best place to do it.
It might be.
I believe it is, man.
All right, let's go with it. We just all say we're the best.
All right, the best radio show, best training school.
We're doing all this with Joe not here.
Yeah.
So it's,
he's missing out. Somebody got to step up.
Right?
All right. Well, let's take our last break, guys. And then when we come back, we're going to catch up some good news, bad news, and some oh no.
Yeah.
No, it's like an Abdul the Butcher nightmare, but not even a good one. I don't even know what to say. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back with more on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDWN. Tired of the same boring food when you're out for breakfast or lunch? I'm Mark Hoke, and I have an idea for a different place to go with unique food you're sure to enjoy, and that's Unique Eats. Take some time out of your busy day and stop on in to Unique Eats, featuring celebrity chef Dominic Tedesco and his friendly staff. Whether it's a great start to your day with one of Unique Eats' amazing omelets, or lunch with his incredible sandwiches, pasta, and award-winning pizzas, you'll be in for a fantastic dining experience that won't break the bank. Unique Eats also features a smoothie bar and full vegetarian menu as well. Plus, if you need catering, you can count on Unique Eats no matter what the occasion. So what are you waiting for? Get on over to Unique Eats at 3100 South Durango, Suite 100, open daily until 3 p.m. Call them at 702-992-3038 or visit uniqueeatslv.com for their full menu and catering info. Break out of the same old routine and have a great meal at Unique Eats today.
101.5 FM KDWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
Yeah, you didn't get rid of me yet. They can't get me out of this place, guys.
Doesn't seem like you ever leave.
No.
You produce like 10 shows. You're a host of 5.
I don't know what
Something
it is,
like
man.
that.
I'm the MVP of KDWN.
You are. I saw that sleeping bag in the bathroom, man.
Yeah.
That's you.
The MJF of KDWN.
Well, I really do want to give a shout out to my boss, Mark Bonilla, who's the program director.
Cool guy.
He works so hard, and we just had the changeover where we are just on FM now, and a lot of stuff going on. And I got to tell you, he is fantastic. So kudos to him for keeping everybody going, because without him, we got nothing.
Yeah, there you go.
So, we'll do a little good news, bad news segment on this one. Just a lot of little things happening. First, Kofi is out. You guys were talking about Kofi Kingston. Kofi on the last episode of SmackDown apparently hurt his leg. He is out 5 weeks, which is about the worst you could have done right around WrestleMania season.
Right.
That's why he got taken out of that 5-way match. So Kofi Kingston looks like he is going to be missing WrestleMania.
That's too bad.
Yeah, that is a shame. On a really sad note, Arn Anderson announced yesterday that his son Barrett, his older son, had passed away.
Ouch.
Oh.
He's 37 years old.
Oh.
Cause of death was not announced, but apparently they found Barrett passed away. So we want to wish the best to Arn, Brock, and the whole family.
Yeah.
Very sad, and you never want to have to bury one of your kids.
Yeah, condolences. That's
for sure.
Sad news right there.
Yeah, so, and if you can catch him on Twitter, send me wrist. Jerry Lawler, though, keeps on ticking.
He's back.
Jerry Lawler, after having that big stroke last month, he is home now after 5 weeks. So the man that had a heart attack on Monday Night Raw back in 2012, well, he's doing okay. So the king is home, sitting on his throne.
Good to see.
His own throne.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, so good for the king. We want to wish him all the best as he recovers from that stroke. There was one other thing I wanted to get to before the last thing I wanted to say, and I moved the window, which was just perfect.
And that's really how you want to end this.
We know it. We've been building this for 2 hours.
King and Queen of the Ring is set for May 27th.
Okay.
So they're going to be doing that on the day before Double or Nothing. So that premium live event is going to be kicking off. And also in town, by the way, in August, from August 28th to the 30th, the 57th annual Cauliflower Alley Club reunion is going to be going on.
Nice.
That is
cool.
If you don't know what that is, that's a charity set up for wrestlers who've fallen on hard times, maybe medical bills or just, rough things happening. Brian Blair is the president of the organization. They're going to be at the plaza at all sorts of great events going on there, meet and greets, banquet, the whole thing. And I have a feeling, just a hunch, that the Mark Hoke Show is going to be doing a little work with the Cauliflower Alley Club. So get your membership. It's only $25 a year. It's you write it off. Just go to caulifloweralleyclub.org, and you can get in on the 57th annual Cauliflower Alley Club reunion.
Yeah.
So you pay for the membership and you get to go?
You get to go down there, and then there's tickets for the banquet and all the other stuff. So
you get to go down there.
Yeah, you get,
and then you got to buy tickets.
I just go on the website and read There's a bunch of different options. I don't have time to go through it all.
Do your homework. It's a great organization, though.
Definitely,
I think what they're doing.
Really is.
I've been to a couple events, and again, it's just good to see everybody. Good vibes out there, and then good purpose. And the Rock's mom, she's always there.
Oh yeah,
yeah, always.
Yeah, she should have spanked Rock a little bit more.
Damn. I don't know. All right.
Now the Rock's all right.
Now we segue into your.
Now we get into your. Oh, man.
And perfectly, Oh, guys, I don't even know what to say about this. So, last year I kind of hammered a couple people on NXT, Lash Legend and Indy Hartwell for that very bizarre match that they had where Indy was getting sort of dribbled between the ropes, but not really. It was just, it was a terrible match. Well, we've got a new candidate as Quincy Elliott, the Super Diva, was in a match with Scripps. Scripps, of course, was Reggie. You guys remember Reggie?
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The 24/7 champion.
Yeah, of course.
The Cirque du Soleil guy.
Of course.
Well, Quincy had Scripps in the corner, and Quincy climbed up on the second rope, and it was not punches. No, sirree. Was there a kick to the groin? I'd rather there was. It was a ManBoob attack.
Oh, wow.
Quincy took his man bags up on the front because Quincy's not a thin guy.
Okay.
And started bouncing them off Scripps' head. Gentlemen, ManBoob attack. Yay or nay?
I'm going to chime in here, and it could be an effective finisher.
I'd start crying as well. Yeah. I'd submit, I can't do it.
Yeah, you got to use what you got, and I think he's an innovator. And I'm excited to see if he continues that path.
Was there like a concussion protocol to go through after this? I'm just curious. I get it's entertainment. Like we always have to remember that. I have to tell myself that sometimes.
That is the interesting thing about professional wrestling.
Like we talked about Rikishi, Stinkface. I mean, he made a living with a move like that.
Well, I'll tell you, had it been he just got him in the corner and punched him a couple times, we wouldn't be talking about him on the number one wrestling show in the world, the Mark Hoke show. Here we are. We built it up for 2 hours of this thing. Like he's doing something right.
Yeah. Good point.
So fair enough, but yes. So
we talked about the characters and stories earlier, so that's definitely not an armbar.
Right.
Is that in the in Chris Jericho's
the list
of 1,000 holds?
Yes, sir.
Armbar, yes.
Armbar,
yes.
Armbar, ManBoob attack.
That might be the best promo of all time. I remember watching that live. That was such a great promo.
A couple of commercial breaks, was it?
Yeah. And he said that he trashed the Chicago teams during the commercial break to get them to start booing him again. So when he came back in, everybody was booing him so bad, and then he just kept going. Yeah, that's a fantastic promo.
Jericho is something else.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, we got to get him on the show when they're in town.
Oh, yeah.
I will beg the AEW staff to lock Jericho in here for a couple hours.
Yeah, Jericho is an anomaly to the business. I didn't understand his magic until later, and how he would reinvent, but WCW wasn't a huge fan, but as he's evolved, and it's like, and then listening to his podcast and just the man, he's something else, man.
Yeah, my friend Chad Holloway from Poker News actually got on his podcast.
Oh, okay.
Talking a little poker, so that was pretty cool. Happy for Chad.
Does I assume Chris plays poker?
I guess. Wrestlers.
Well, I mean,
play
I
poker.
guess it doesn't matter, but I mean,
yeah, they were paralleling the poker world to the wrestling world.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, Dave, I want to ask you about Mecca real quick. We've got about a minute.
Yes, sir.
So we've got to make sure that we promote that amazing card coming up. What's going on with FSW?
March 26th. It's going down. We are live at the Silver Nugget Casino on Las Vegas Boulevard downtown. March 26th, 5 p.m. That's Sunday. That's a special start time. Mecca is one of our biggest events, if not the biggest event of the year. And this one will be no different. Like, we pull out all the stops, and I'd say if you are a fan, come on down. If you're interested, come on down. But it's good time. Come have some drinks. Come get some merch. And you're going to see an amazing show, man. We will make you part of the fam.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So, I was at the Mecca last year, and what a great card that was. And looking forward to another outstanding one there. Brian, I can give you about 30 seconds on Las Vegas wrestling scene.
Man, we're doing great. We just had Cutthroat Cody on LVWS Confidential on our YouTube channel last week. He had some real nice things to say about a couple of the up-and-coming young talent. We'll have the recap will be up this afternoon from Future Shock. From Friday, we'll also have the Pride-style recap up either this afternoon or tomorrow. A lot of exciting things happening in Las Vegas.
You had some really ugly-looking guy on that Las Vegas Wrestling Confidential.
Yeah, we really
2 weeks
did.
ago.
And let's not forget
Jesus.
the celebration of Mark Hoke being on the show a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that's exactly
Is
what I'm
it
talking
is it
about.
weird to you to get interviewed to like be the guest? I'm just wondering.
I've done it enough. So.
Okay.
But I also did another podcast, by the way. Jeff Does Vegas.
Okay.
From a guy from Calgary
Okay.
who actually interviewed me. We reviewed WrestleMania 9 because the 30th anniversary of that's coming up.
Yes, it is April 4th.
Caesar
I'm writing
Palace?
it. We'll have an article on the website about that WrestleMania on April 4th.
Yeah,
on
so-
LasVegasWrestlingScene.com.
So that should be up on JeffDoesVegas.com probably in a couple of weeks.
Nice.
So that'll be fun.
Nice.
All right, boys, that'll do it. The
Jim
David
Ross in the
Difference.
toga.
Thank you. Appreciate you coming on the show.
Appreciate you.
Brian Ronovich.
Thanks, David.
Yes, sir.
From LasVegasWrestlingScene.com. And, of course, hey, make sure you give us a follow on Twitter. We would certainly appreciate that, at Mark Hoke Show. Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show. YouTube channels, The Mark Hoke Show. Website, MarkHokeShow.com. And, of course, those podcasts all out there, those interviews with Sergeant Slaughter and so many others at MarkHokeShow.podbean.com. And very excited, big guest next week. Bobby Fulton of the Fantastics, one of the greatest tag teams of all time, is going to be on the show. So we'll look forward to have Bobby Fulton on. But, of course, we can't do it without you guys. Thanks for listening. We certainly do appreciate it. We will see you next week on The Mark Hoke Show. Have a terrific day, Las Vegas. Oh, and go Penn State.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit MarkHokeShow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.